Unit 4, Lesson 3 is going to combine the two previous lessons from Unit 4, which was plotting points and making tables. So today we're going to learn how to use a table to graph a straight line. A couple terms you need to know here. First of all, linear equation. A linear equation is an equation that when graphed will produce a straight line. Okay, and an equation is a term we've seen before. That's a mathematical sentence that contains an equal sign. Okay. Looking at example 1. All right, I want to call your attention to the fact that, first of all, there's only 3 examples here. All right, but in the directions, you are asked to use your ID or a ruler to make straight lines. Okay, you are required to make straight lines. So please take out your ID or a ruler as you go to do your notes today. All right, so let's go ahead and start with what we have to do here. All right, we're asked to make a table and graph. Alright, so we're given 3 equations similar to what we saw yesterday in the notes, and we're going to go ahead and make a table. And like we saw yesterday, alright, the x values are our choice. Those are referred to as the inputs, or the domain. Okay, I choose -1, 0, and 1, unless we have a fraction. Like in example B, we would do -3, 0, and 3. Okay, example C does not have a fraction, so I'm doing -1, 0, and 1. Okay? So then we have to find the y value. And the way we do that is we take our made up number, in this case -1, we plug it in for x, and we do our calculations. Alright, 3 times -1, that's -3 minus 6. That gives me a y value of -9. I put the 0 in. 0 times anything is 0. 0 minus 6 is -6. And then I put the positive 1 in. That's 3 minus 6, which is -3. And again, that gives me 3 points that I'm going to go ahead and write out below here. Okay, now I'm going to scroll down here so I can see my graphs. Alright, my work goes away, but I have my ordered pairs right here. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and graph these 3 points. So the point -1, -9, remember the x-axis, when it's negative, that tells me to go to the left, and the y being negative tells me to go down. So I'm going left 1, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's the point -1, 9. 0 tells me don't go left or right at all. That tells me go down, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the last one, over is positive, so we're going right, and then down, so right 1, down 1, 2, 3. This is the part where you need to have something straight, alright, whether it's a ruler or your ID. Alright, I'm lucky enough to have a computer that will draw a straight line for me. Alright, so what we want to do is try to be as accurate as possible as we draw our line in. Okay, and my first point should have been a little bit more like that. There we go. Alright, now what you want to do when you draw your line in, whoops, hang on, we want to make sure our line goes all the way through the graph, okay, and that at the end of each side of that I put arrows to show that that line will continue to go on forever in both directions. Okay, so let's go back, and let's go back to our table now for B. Remember, I'm using -303 because that was the denominator in the fraction. That's why you see these 2 numbers here and here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. So I have 2/3 times -3 plus 3. The 3 cancels. Don't forget about that negative sign. So that's -2 plus 3, which is going to be +1. 0 times anything is 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. And then I have 2/3 times +3 plus 3. Those cancel. 2 plus 3 is 5. And I have 3 points once again. -3, 1. 0, 3. And 3, 5. So then my graphing portion of this, again, go one at a time here. I have to go to the left. 1, 2, 3, up 1. That's the point -3, 1. 0, 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, as we go to draw a line, if you go to put a line and it happens to not exactly touch all 3 points, that's telling you something's wrong. Okay, that you should be able to touch all the points. And again, your line should go all the way through your graph. Alright, with arrows on both ends. Here and here. Alright, make a nice straight line going all the way through your graph. Alright, last one. We've already started the setup for the table. Now we just got to go ahead and finish it. Alright, just because this is negative 2x and there's nothing out here doesn't change the way we're doing this. We put that in. This is going to be my y. That's going to be a positive 2. 0 times anything is 0. Doesn't really have to do any work there. And that'll be negative 2. So I have my 3 points, negative 1, 2, 0, 0, and 1, negative 2. Okay. Back to my graphing now. Negative 1, 2 is left 1 and up 2. 0, 0 is at the origin. And 1, negative 2 will be over 1, down 2. And I'm going to get my ruler out, or you're going to get your ruler out, and we're going to go ahead and make a straight line that goes all the way through that graph. Alright, top and bottom. Make sure you put your arrows at the end. Alright, we want to show that this line will go on forever. And that is how you use a table to graph a straight line. Alright, so we'll see you in class tomorrow.